Oh, that's hot. Today we got 4 nice topics, and we're going to do a cup of Nespresso every 5 minutes. By the end of this shit, we're going to be wired. We may or may not have already had a couple to get us going. So on that note, let's get booming, baby. What are our topics?
Beautiful day in Southern California. I can breathe the air. I can see the sky. There's no smoke in the air. What more could you ask for?
Just our fat clouds, bro.
Exactly. Just the psychedelic IPO we're about to talk about.
Oh, shit. You just gave me a little teaser?
So today we are talking about TikTok. Once again, we're going to be talking about how stocks are going red, starting to go red. A psychedelic IPO that has recently come out on Friday, and we're talking about the wealth gap and how it is booming. So, without further ado, would you like to take us into the TikTok?
Oh, yeah, that sounds splendid, man. The Trump administration will begin banning downloads and use of popular Chinese-owned apps, TikTok and WeChat, late Sunday. This is Sunday, September 20th, by the way. In a move U.S. officials said was driven by national security concerns, but which drew objections for impinging on free speech rights. In its order detailed Friday, Commerce said it would block any provision of service to distribute or maintain the WeChat or TikTok mobile applications, constituent code, or application updates through an online mobile application store in the U.S. It will also block any money transfers through the WeChat app for U.S.-based users. So let's get the fundamental question answered. Why cancel TikTok and WeChat? Each collects vast swaths of data from users, including network activity, location data, and browsing and search histories. The Commerce Department said each is an active participant in China's civil-military fusion and is subject to mandatory cooperation with the intelligence services of the Chinese Communist Party. It's clearly a data issue, and it's a security issue, and it's also an issue with free speech. But TikTok is a private company. We are into this huge battle. It's going to eventually go down probably to the Supreme Court of what is going to happen to social medias. You know, what kind of impact can the government truly intervene with social medias? Is it a public domain of free speech, or is it a private company? How is the public going to view this? If we view it as a public domain, as if you're walking in the park, you have the same kind of things as free speech. It would be your First Amendment rights. But if it's a private company, then that's a whole different battle, because you can't say whatever you want. You can't do whatever you want online. It's a private, they can do whatever they want to you. And it's not the other way around. For example, that would be Twitter is allowed to ban users. You can't ban someone, well, you can from going to a park. All right, that's a terrible example, but.
You tried
it. Well, that's the funny thing is free speech isn't forever speech. You have the free to say certain things, but you can't yell fire in a theater. You can't yell bomb in an airport. What causes panic, because that turns into hate speech, which is why so many things, for example, if you were to drop the hard R on Twitter, that would be considered hate speech, and you would probably be banned from Twitter. So if you drop the hard R in real life, you'd be labeled a bigot, and you wouldn't be, a very, very good person.
Yeah.
So the thing is on one situation, you're getting banned from the app, and on the other, you're being just like, dude, this guy fucking sucks,
Yeah.
So how are we going to, if it's really a true public domain, are we going to be like, yo, that guy fucking sucks, just stop paying attention to him? Or are we going to be like, yo, that guy fucking sucks, let's kill him?
Yeah.
Because that's what they used to do. They used to be like, but it wasn't never, let's kill the white guy saying the N-word. It was sadly the other way around.
Yeah.
But you see the point. The big picture is it free domain or is it private company? All right, on that note, do you have anything else to add about TikTok, or should we move on to WeChat?
We can move on to WeChat.
Yeah.
You pretty much said everything.
You're like, fool, you went off. No.
You went off, King.
Come on, let's go, King. No.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
God, yeah, you suck. No, well, I'm going to get a little slurp. God damn, that's good. Both these companies, WeChat and TikTok, are owned by a Chinese company, Tencent, which has a $665 billion market cap. That's with a B, baby.
I was about to say that. With a B.
With a B, baby. So with that being said, lots of U.S. companies led by Oracle are making the next ByteDance parent company to ensure TikTok's data security and operations. Until then, TikTok won't be able to be downloaded until after September 20th, this Sunday. And it's basically going to be not, usable, but not functionable like Joe Biden.
We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
How exactly it'll change? Dude, I have no fucking idea. I'm not a mind reader. All I know is shit's going to slow down. And if you've ever had 3G to 5G, big difference, guy. Big, huge. WeChat's a big deal because so many people use it in the U.S. to communicate with people from China. But in all reality, the parent company that I was mentioning, Tencent, only 2% of their revenue is derived from the U.S. So they could give less of a fuck about this whole thing. It's really just all in our heads that it's such a big deal. Like, oh my God, is this going to destroy China? They could give us, it's 2% of a $665 billion company. They have yearly revenues of $300 billion. Put that in fucking perspective.
That's big.
They are so big. That's what she said. All right. On that note, I'm just going to end it. But, you could talk about WeChat and TikTok for hours. It's just the problem is we're going to enter this, like I said, private, public. Which one's it going to be?
We could do a jump cut there.
Yeah, definitely. This is all getting cut out right now.
Yeah. Shit's burning my fucking...
There we go. Good man.
Okay.
All right. On to the next topic.
Feel me?
Yeah.
All right. The next segment, we're talking about the stock market. If you guys haven't been keeping up with the stock market lately, if you have been keeping up with the stock market lately, you know that the tech stocks have been on fire.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks, they haven't been.
No.
Why is that? Well, I suspect that there's going to be, that there already has been, and there's going to continue to be, sector rotations.
Wow.
What we call it.
Sector rotation. That's a big word.
Let that sink
It's
in.
actually 2 words, right?
Yeah.
Or is there a dash, a hyphen?
We can call it a hyphen. All right. There's going to be there has been and will continue to be a sector rotation, which means that there's going to be money flowing out of overvalued tech stocks and into value stocks, which are typically safe stocks. Your stocks that Warren Buffett would invest in, Coca-Cola, and especially your airlines, your cruise lines, your banks, ones that relative to the market have not been performing.
But they're still staples.
But they're still staples, exactly.
Yeah.
They're still underlying everything. They're still a good company. It's just the current economic situation is not in their favor right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let me hit you with some facts real quick. Since the start of September, cheaper and more economically exposed sectors have outperformed pandemic-resistant growth stocks. The pricey S&P 500 technology sector has lost 8%, while value-oriented materials and industrials have added 6% and 2%, respectively. The overall S&P 500 has declined 4%. So if you know anything about the S&P 500, you know that it has weighted stocks in it. So certain stocks are weighted more so than others. So, what do we get from this? The S&P 500 is going down, but these value stocks are going up. Why is the S&P 500 going down if that's happening?
Because the tech stocks are weighted heavier.
Thank you, sir. Ding, 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 ding,
You got a
ding.
sticker? Yeah, I got a gold stock. Yeah.
You got put in the green.
I got put in the green zone.
You're in the yellow, you're in the green.
Yeah. I
Current,
don't like the yellow zone.
Current indexes are suggesting the sector rotation out of tech/growth stocks and into value names such as airlines, banks, and the travel industry are going to continue for the near future. Market valuations, vaccine talk, and the upcoming election are all also pressing issues onto why this is happening to the S&P 500. Typically, this is not typical, but whenever there's whenever there's a
I misspoke. Sorry.
Whenever there's a major event going on in the economy, such as a pandemic, vaccine talk is
Such as like a pandemic.
exactly
Off top of my head, pandemic.
is potentially a vehicle as to why the stock market might be doing what it's doing, and then also the upcoming election in about 2 months.
Yeah, dude. There's too much dog shit to point at. You just gotta pick it all up one after another. So it's
literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's all like pointing to one thing as to why it's happening.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my take on it. That's what I think is going to happen. What is happening currently in the S&P 500?
I've got a hot take on
specifically.
it.
I love hot takes.
All right. So as we all know, the stock market is not based on what a company's valued at. It's based
Hell
on
no.
what an investor projects the company being valued at.
Yep.
So we have all of this tech because we don't know there's so much uncertainty with this pandemic. It could last 2 months. It could last 2 more years. So with that being said, with volatility in addition and tech's being hot, tech's not going to be hot. They're going to be inferno. And if they're going cold, they're not going to be cold. They're going to be ice cold.
I don't feel the cold, I feel the power.
Because that's what volatility does to the market. Is it makes it hot, or oh fuck man, I'm cold. You know, so it's like it's not a fun time to be the market right now because you're going.
He's like going through like hormone imbalance like right now.
Yeah,
like, right now the market is like a middle school boy, and he's just like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like,
and the economy is a middle school girl, and she's like going through her first period.
exactly what's going on.
That's
right
basically what we're looking at here, folks. Is the hormone monster is not our friend right now. It's basically
hormone
like
monster.
for the guy, he's just like, oh, I just want to fuck, and he's just jerking off everywhere. That's the stock market, and it's everywhere. It's sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss.
He can't control it either. It's just how it is.
It's his fucking hormones.
There's only one way to make you shut up.
But yeah, that's my hot take. Is that
That may have been a little bit
too hot?
a little bit too hot of an example, but you get the point.
Yeah.
So
That's what volatility will do in the market, though. They'll
Yeah.
make tech hot and then tech not.
yeah,
All right.
that's a fact.
Cheers. I'm gonna chug it.
I done finished mine.
Yo. So Psychodelic IPO. We got a big old stock on the market now. So let me start our timer.
That was great. Stevie Beats on the track.
Yo. And we're going. So Compass Pathways, the UK company that has patented a synthetic version of the active ingredient in so-called magic mushrooms for use in treatment-resistant depression, went public on Friday. Shares jumped 71% in a day to $29 in New York after an initial public offering of 7.5 million shares priced at $17 each. Pricing was increased from 6.7 million shares at an expected value of about 14 to 16 each, according to an earlier Securities and Exchange Commission filing. At current prices, Compass Pathways' 34 million shares outstanding are worth almost $1 billion. So that was the IPO release. So some of the funds will go to research and clinical trials, as well as to develop digital technologies to pair with Compass therapies, according to SEC filing. Of the more than 322 million people who suffer major depressive disorder worldwide, some 100 million have treatment-resistant depression, TRD. The company said in its regulatory filing. Compass estimates the economic burden of major depression in the U.S. at more than $200 billion annually, and that TRD has an even greater cost. Okay, so with that being said, there's a general gist of what we're about to talk out. UK company that does a lot of psychedelic, they do a lot of drugs with that company. They produce this, the synthetic drug, and then they have this therapy for it. So it's not exactly clear how psilocybin works in alleviating TRD, which is treatment-resistant depression, as I mentioned. The treatment Compass envisions would take place in a therapeutic setting, with hours of counseling before and after the 6 to 8 hour psilocybin experience. The last thing I want to mention regarding this, before we're taking in more of a discussion, is that this chart that you see right here, the takeaways from the bottom, the takeaway is that from this chart, psychedelics are cheaper, and they are more variable in regards to route, frequency, and cost. This is beneficial given TRD individuals may require fine-tuned treatments, not generic mind-numbing pills. So on that note, I want to bring up open floor discussion. Like, Riley, where do you think this is going to go in regards to America seeing, this country is doing this with and it's now an IPO. We have marijuana stocks in Canada. When the fuck is that going to hit mainland USA? And how do you think it's going to affect the world economy?
I think that we have to legalize, like, on a federal level, weed first before this even is like considered, because how people are, right? Specifically like governmental leaders. Some are like very in favor of this in regards to the weed, but others are like totally not.
Yeah. Well, do you think that we even need to have a federal law passed for marijuana, or do you think that because we already have, like, for example, as I researched earlier, Denver, Colorado, Oakland, and now Santa Cruz have decriminalized a few different types of psychedelics,
Shit.
Yeah, so that's in the U.S. and that's based on city rules. So for that particular city, psychedelics are decriminalized. Decriminalization is not legalization, by the way. That would be a whole different fucking story,
Yeah.
I think a good fucking start would be making it federally decriminalized for this stuff. That would be a good fucking law, of just saying, hey, you know what? Sorry about that whole thing. The drug war are bad,
Yeah.
That'd be fun, because that's really what we're looking at here is another drug war, this time with psychedelics.
Yeah. I think all in all, like, it means good. like any of these drugs. It means good, but how is it going to be regulated so that somebody because it's not like an illness where there's like proof that you have it. It's a mental illness, and those can be relatively faked.
Yeah, you can fake that you have that shit if you're talking to a psychiatrist.
Exactly. So like, how do we regulate who gets this? How do we regulate who actually has a mental illness and is using this because they need it, and who is using this just for recreational
What if I
use?
blew your fucking mind? I said, why does it matter if it's regulated?
Let me think about that.
What stops you from going to the market right now, getting Advil and chugging the whole bottle right now?
Yeah.
Nothing. And that can kill you.
True.
So I think what we really need is we need it to be decriminalized, because what that will do is it will cause research to be able to be done, and then they can have proper dosage on body weight based on certain disorders if you have them. So don't do it if you have that, because there's none of that research being done because it's illegal. It's like doing research on a human body, which has been just not.
I think
doing,
an issue may be just keeping it from getting in the wrong hands. Like if anybody can go get it, anybody over the age of whatever the fuck 21 can go get this drug. Who's to say? Just like it is with alcohol, I know so many people that buy alcohol for minors. What's stopping them from doing that for our 15-year-old kid who wants to try shrooms? Like, probably shouldn't be doing that young. I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
But
that's a good question.
That's a
question, but that's a good viewpoint.
That's a very marginal answer. That's very specific, but it's applicable because that shit can happen. Yeah, it can happen, but we have to kind of use risk management, I guess, in that to see what are the costs, or what's the benefit and what's the reward, or what's the reward and what's the risk if we do this. So I don't know.
Well, we could talk about that for another fucking 5 hours, but there it is for you guys. Research it more if you want to.
All right, guys. So our next topic is going to be talking about the wealth gap and how that has gotten even worse, unfortunately.
How?
Gotten even worse somehow in the midst of this pandemic.
All right, I'll start the timer up. Ready?
All right.
She's rolling.
So this shit, if I got to be honest, this stuff really makes my fucking head hurt.
Dude, just lie. It's awesome. It's so cool, dude. Like, there's billionaires who have,
is the reason,
hundreds of billions of dollars, and then there's poor people. It's so cool, dude. That's awesome.
This is the reason that I have migraines when I go to sleep, is because of Jeff Bezos. No, but I mean, you can't blame it on him because he's just playing the game, right? He's not
Dude,
in charge.
he's playing hard, and he's playing to win, and he's using every law.
Exactly.
He's like, I rolled twice, and there's no rule that says if I roll twice and I roll twice again, if I roll doubles again, I can't keep rolling doubles. It seems like he just keeps rolling double after double after double after double.
The fault isn't on Jeff Bezos; it's on the fucking leaders who make these laws. He's just
specifically the tax laws.
He's just playing the game better than everybody fucking else is.
And the shittiest part is he's winning. He's winning the fucking game hard. Whereas most people, they try to win and they fail.
Yeah. So listen to these statistics real quick about the pre-pandemic and during pandemic. I don't know how the fuck you say that. During pandemic and how that the pandemic has affected these billionaires, specifically U.S. billionaires' net worth. There's been a 32.9% increase in net worth from all of America's billionaires. So Jeff Bezos has made about, let's see, I have it written down here. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
113 billion.
113 billion
is what he's worth.
Okay, yeah, he's worth 113 billion.
Wait, pardon, was worth.
He was worth 113 billion. And since the pandemic started, he's gained about $44 billion into his net worth. That's enough for perspective. That's enough to give every single Amazon worker $50,000, and he'll still be fucking just as wealthy, if not more wealthy, than he was pre-pandemic.
That's fucking wild.
There's about 800,000 Amazon workers, and he could give each one of them $50,000, and he'd still be just as rich as he was in January. And for perspective, that's about...
But why would he do that when he can buy a yacht or a new house? That doesn't make any... You're so stupid.
Yeah,
this
my
fucking
bad.
Idiot. Dude, why would you help people?
So to combat this, everybody knows who Bernie Sanders is and what he thinks about this. So he wants to introduce this act called Make Billionaires Pay Act, which, if passed, would levy a 60% tax on the wealth of 467 billionaires whose wealth rose since March 18th, as per inequality.org. So this is kind of a
Oh yeah, we want to open it to discussion.
Yeah,
I have a heavy hand.
so
on
this is kind of a touchy subject. Let's
Yeah.
say that Stevie's got a hot take. Let's see what he's got to say.
Don't make an act, make a law. Don't make this a fucking law, though. Okay,
Yeah.
Don't have it like this. So, I think there needs to be a reform in the system, not a fucking like. What he's trying to do is he's trying to put out a fire instead of realizing like, dude, you're in the inferno right now. You know, like if you dump a bucket to your left, the rest of it is still on fire. So I don't think that one fucking single tax will do what Bernie wants. It'll make it's like a dopamine rush versus an endorphin. You know?
Exactly. It'll help, but it's not going to solve the problem.
No, all good things in life will come with hard work, patience, and dedication. And
Thanks.
that is just, I think, having a reform of the tax bill, lowering taxes for almost everybody, but making sure that there's no fucking loopholes. Like, this is the problem, is there's loopholes. It's like, well, if I don't, like, the
tax
Yeah.
system incentivizes
I'm fucking worked up.
the tax system incentivizes the rich to do this shit.
That's true.
So why?
As I hit my nose in my fucking mic.
So why? Why do we have these laws that make the rich richer and the poor stay the same or even poorer? That's where the problem lies. It's not
System's not fucking broken. It's fixed. That's why.
exactly.
You know, I heard that from Michael Shea. I can't lie. Yeah, but you know, I'm strongly against a one-time act for these billionaires because they played by the rules and they won. And now they're getting penalized because they're that good. It's like telling fucking Michael Jordan, "Hey, dude, sorry, but like these guys can't guard you. We're gonna have to sit you out."
It's exactly what
you're
it
not gonna
is.
sit out the whole game. You have to be capped at 20
That's
minutes a game.
Exactly what it is.
And I'm just like, dude,
Perfect.
he's the best. You're gonna limit the best player to 20 minutes because these guys can't guard him. It's like, it's not fair for the rest of them. Like, he's not being able to guard. You know, I understand people. The problem is people don't want to make these analogies because of people's feelings. Like, but there's people that don't have shelter and money. I'm like, yeah, they are, but this is going to not solve that permanently.
Yeah.
It's going to put a Band-Aid on a fucking bruise. That does nothing.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's
Can I
what it
just
comes
say
down
that
to.
analogy was good, though? It's putting a Band-Aid on a bruise.
That was perfect.
Come on, man.
Goodness gracious.
All right. It's not like I don't care. I want to fix
Yeah,
it.
it's
and
still fucked
giving
up
a fuck about the
nonetheless.
right things and not giving a fuck about certain things is what actually causes
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just where we need to put our attention at the source of the problem, because Jeff Bezos is kind of like the scapegoat. He
is the scapegoat. of the
looks
problem.
like he's the problem, but
Dude,
in
he's
reality,
he's just winning in the system.
exactly. The reality is that the problem lies is like an underlying.
Yeah, we don't want Bezos to have $100 billion. That's fucking stupid. But we
Yeah.
don't want to just tax the motherfucker like that. You know,
Yeah.
I want it to be done right. If I'm gonna tax him, I'm
so
gonna do
that
it the
it
right way.
lasts. Like this
Yeah,
this issue is gonna.
dude, that's a
is gonna
quick
be
5-minute
gone-
nut.
is-
You know, that's
is-
lust. That's not
exactly.
love. Like,
Exactly.
fuck that, man. I'm trying to find a long-term Bezos, not a one-night
Exactly.
Bezos.
There needs to be reform so that this doesn't keep happening.
Yep. Well, that ends this episode, sadly. However, we do have some breaking news.
Ooh.
Trump actually just declared that he is passing the Oracle deal. So TikTok will be acquired by Oracle as the majority shareholder, and the other companies will be constituents for that proposition, where they're all going to be going in and they're going to be joining forces and building a better TikTok. So that's good news that that's going to happen. Will it still be shut down? Will this all happen? Tune in next week.
Yes, sir. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Peace. And we did fucking drink it all. There's fucking coffee in here, motherfucker. Ew, I licked the fucking mic.
Ooh, I want that one next time.